has been a few days since our first Toon of the Week Sprout has been revealed and players are enjoying the event. However, there's been some big changes to the way Twisteds behave and this is negatively affecting players. Our first bug is about the new Sprout lore video that appears in Sprout's lore room on Sprout's map. This user said, is his dialogue supposed to appear in blackouts? Sprout has a new dialogue with the new animation where Sprout says this is such a breach of privacy, but as you can see it is a blackout and Sprout is still interacting with the TV, and this player is wondering, is that supposed to happen? Are toons supposed to react to TVs that are not on? Our next problem is to do with Twisted Sprout's new AI pathing. Most of you will know that lore rooms on main floors are a spot for AFKers. Twisteds don't path into lore rooms like V's lore room on V's map and Sprout's lore room on Sprout's map. But ever since the update where Twisted Sprout now finds posters of himself and pauses at those posters, Twisted Sprout now paths into lore rooms on main maps, which was previously an AFK spot. As you can see, there's a picture of Sprout in the V lore room and there's a picture of Sprout in Sprout's lore room. So many users have complained that Twisted Sprout is ruining long runs. This user said Twisted Sprout seems to path directly into his lore room on his map. While I know his Twisted was reworked to interact with posters that feature Sprout, this feels like a huge overlook. The lore rooms currently serve as the only safe and intentional AFK spots, and by having a Twisted path in there, it makes the lore room no longer safe to AFK. And here we have a picture of Twisted Sprout in the V lore room and Twisted Sprout is standing there, which means you cannot AFK in V's lore room if there is a Twisted Sprout on the map. And here we have actual footage of a team who were AFKing in V's lore room with a Twisted Sprout on that floor. This user said, I don't know if it's a bug, but Sprout went into the V lore room and Sprout killed my team in an AFK spot. Let's take a look. So the team is AFK in V's lore room thinking they're safe and Sprout paths inside the room. The team thought they were safe and ever since the new update, Twisted Sprout now paths to these safe spots to look at this poster in V's lore room. So because of Twisted Sprout's new pathing, long runs are very difficult. You're going to have to be very smart about going AFK in super long runs, because if the Daniswell dev team decide to change more Twisted pathing, it seems like AFK spots will slowly start to disappear and long runs will become nearly impossible. Our next bug is to do with the camera going in the wrong direction when redeeming skins and buying skins. This user said, I don't think the camera is supposed to pan and show out of bounds like that when redeeming Golden Sprout. Let's take a look at what's happened. So this player is claiming Golden Sprout skin, and as you can see, the camera shows outside of the map and the players are not supposed to see that. The camera doesn't normally do that, and a lot of players are receiving this camera problem where they're able to see outside of the map. Hopefully the dev team can figure out what's happening with the camera. Why are we able to see out of bounds? Our next bug is to do with the titles in Dandy's World. So as most of you know, we have titles now and you can equip different titles that other players can see. Well, it seems like titles might be the cause of lag in games. This user said everyone in my team was having lag issues. Let's see what type of lag is happening. If you can see from the messages, everybody is lagging. They're all typing about lag, and when the players run, as you can see, some players are stopping and starting to run, and as you can see, this t-shirt is walking in place. And apparently the cause of this problem is due to titles. As this user said, if if everybody unequips their titles, the lag will be fixed. So it seems like titles is causing lag problems. How is that even possible? What a weird interaction for titles to cause players to lag and run in place. But apparently that is happening. The Dinosaur developers are aware of this problem. This user said, would it be possible for you guys to add a toggle option to the titles you get from achievements? Every time I'm in a run and it gets past floor 20, the title starts bugging out, disappearing randomly and causing lag spikes that make distracting nearly impossible. I've tried a run without those titles though, and it went just fine. So this user has compared a run with titles and a run without titles, and they found out that when players show their titles, runs can lag. A Dandiswell developer called Scribbles replied saying, I think King Mob mentioned already, but accessibility is very important to the team, hoping to have some options to help you out here. So the dev team are aware that titles are causing lag problems. Super weird, but it is happening. So if you are experiencing lag like this, where tunes are running in place and it seems like the whole server is having lag problems, then titles might be the cause of that lag. If you know the players on your team, tell everyone to remove their titles. That might fix the lag problems you are experiencing. Our next problem is to do with the Tune of the Week Robux skin for Sprout. This user said people claim that Sprout skin, which costs Robux, is a different cost. Is this a bug? And as you can see for this user, Sprout Robux skin, Chef Sprout, is 45 Robux. And players are wondering, why is this skin 45 Robux instead of 50 Robux? It could be regional pricing, where Roblox will reduce the price of game passes based on your region, or it could be because of Roblox Plus, where you can get 10% off in-game items, avatars, and more. And after 2 months, that discount will be 20% off, so game passes will be even cheaper. So if you find out that some game passes are cheaper, it is most likely because you have Roblox Plus. And lastly, we have a bug to do with the meters walked. Players have checked their stats and seen that their meters walked is inflated. This user said, I am confused about the meters walked thingy. I just checked my stats and saw this. It just cannot be possibly this high. Does anyone have any idea what could cause this to happen? And as you can see, their meters walked is a very, very, very high number, and other players have experienced the same thing where they checked their stats and the meters walked is just impossibly high. This user said, does anyone have an idea on how this happened? And when we take a closer look, as you can see, their meters walked is super high. There might be a reason why the meters walked is inflated. This user said, I fell from the map, and they have a screenshot of their meters walked. And as you can see, their meters walked is also super high, and the reason might be because they fell out of the map. And this user said, one of the beanbags, it lagged me out and flinged me out of the map, and I got the marathon runner medal. I was confused, so I checked my stats and I saw that my meters is glitched. Is there any way to fix this? So this user basically got flung out of the map whilst they were in a run. They got a medal and they checked their stats, and their stats showed this, that their meters walked is super, super high. This is impossibly high, and the cause was because they got flung out of the map through some sort of bug. The user went on to say, it could put me to risk from getting banned, and I don't want this account to be banned. What do I do? So this user is a bit worried about their meters walked being impossibly high from being glitched from bugging out of the map, and they're wondering, will they get accidentally flagged as an exploiter because this number is just super high? Hopefully the dev team can maybe reset the meters walked for these users, because it's definitely not a natural number, and it does look like maybe they were up to something fishy, maybe they were using exploits, but it seems like falling out of the map or being flung out of the map causes the meters walked to be inflated.